It is hot outside. It is hot outside. Just like that, we back with the second stream of the day. What's good, y'all? It's your boy ARP back with the Sorry is True podcast. I mean, hopefully y'all will still catch up with the joint that I just did like an hour ago, the Meek shit, or 2 hours ago. Okay, go check that out. Very interesting stream. But man, just that fast, I saw this video drop from 1090 Jake exposing Rick Ross. We're going to get into the backstory. I'm going to talk about if this affects Rick Ross, how this impacts the Drake battle. Oh, man. On the battle rap side, man, y'all be talking about me from the past, right? The last thing some of y'all want is an ARP block. He gets surgical. Forget me. It's 1090 Jake. The videos that he puts together. And one thing that I respect about 1090 Jake, everything that I've seen him do so far, he's applied a lot of homework to. I never really seen him jump out the window for like, it looks like he just jumped on a rumor real quick for some views or nothing like that. He's always been surgical, very strategic, and has a lot of homework in his videos. The only thing I feel like he came kind of close to almost kind of having to retract a little bit was probably the BG thing. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, he's been kind of spot on. And let me say this quick disclaimer. When I say things like spot on, I'm not team 1090 Jake. I'm not team Rick Ross. I'm team Sorry It's True. Okay. I'm a fan of 1090 Jake's content. I'm a fan of Rick Ross's music. But we got some stuff to talk about. I got the 1090 Jake video up here on the screen. I'm going to just hit play on this, right? I'm not going to play the audio in the background. I put his link to his video in the description below. So if you want to check out his video, once again, I'm giving credits. Go to the description and check out 1090 Jake's video. I'm not even going to play the audio. He just dropped it. I'm not trying to step on his views or nothing like that. He deserves his own views for his own content. Jesus Christ, hold on. That's like the HD version of the shit. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Wait. I got some topics that we're going to get into, but hold on. Let me just replay that piece. Jesus Christ. Jesus. We saw the video floating around, but look at this. He's got like the 4K version. Oh man. But anyway. All right. So a little bit of backstory for anybody that's out the loop. Everybody at this point is already up to speed with the Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and J. Cole beef, right? Drake drops his diss track responding to Kendrick. He's taking shots at other people in there at the same time. Rick Ross catches a shot. Might cuff your girl like Whitney or whatever he said. You know what I'm saying? But he brought up the Officer Rick shit. You know what I'm saying? Which is old news. Very, very old news. But after he brought that up, 2 hours later, Rick Ross drops a response diss track. A very, very good response. Hilarious at the end. Rick Ross is talking all types of smack towards Drake, brings out accusations of Drake having fake ab surgery and a nose job, but he weighs heavy on calling Drake a white boy. White boy, white boy, white boy, white boy. And Rick Ross has been keeping up with his trolling on social media. He's battling more off wax than he is on wax when it comes to him and Drake. He's done way more on Instagram and all this type of shit than he's done on pen and pad or in the booth. That's just his own approach. It is what it is. But the white boy shit, even on social media, he just keeps saying. It seems like 1090 Jake, being a white guy, took offense to that. Took offense to the shit. And he's like, all right, well, you know, I'm gonna come out and say what I want to say. And here goes Rick Ross going back at 1090 Jake. Puts up some paperwork, calls 1090 Jake a snitch. They got a little back and forth, boom, boom, boom. Here goes now 1090 Jake with a video doing a full bring back the past, add some new footage, add some new details about Rick Ross's background and his affiliation with the Booby Boys, you know, Florida Clique and, you know, all that type of stuff. Once again, I'm not even playing the audio because I don't want to pull no views from 1090 Jake's video. You guys will go ahead in the description whenever you want. Click play, watch it whenever you care to. So that's kind of the backstory to this shit. Now, the first thing that I want to squash and I want to kill because I think it's corny is the white boy thing, right? Not just because I fuck with people of all nationalities, races, and creeds and religious beliefs or whatever. But let's keep it real. It's a corny fucking angle. I don't care if Drake is half Jewish, half black, full whatever he better be some black because he says nigga. But you know what I'm saying? Besides that aspect of it, like the white side of Drake or whatever, to bring that into it now after you done rocked with this man, stood next to him all these years, got all these classic hits with him. The white boy angle really, really is corny. And here's the second reason why it's corny as shit. Rick Ross, as well as damn near the entire rap culture, they marvel in white culture as well. There's a crop of people out there. You go get Dr. Umar, whoever, and they hate the Eminems of the world because sometimes they get called the best rappers ever, but they're white in a black culture. If you have that opinion, you have those feelings, you're welcome in your title to your own opinions, right? This is a black culture, 100%. It is a black culture, but we marvel and revel in white culture as well. Stop me when I'm lying. Checks and balances, the whole chat. Nobody ever heard of the mafia before? Rick Ross doesn't have a lot of mafia inspired music, mafia music, names of his tracks and whatnot. The whole boss thing and cartel. This is all not of black cartel stuff. Is like Hispanic, Mexican, right? So it's kind of corny to do the white boy thing. It really is. Everybody loves the mafia. Everybody loves John Gotti. And the mafia ain't even fuck with black people like that. They damn near out there talking about Nicky Barnes was like one of the few black people they let get close to them and really get into the mix with them like that. The mafia and that whole, they didn't really fuck with black people like that. Yet black culture, black hip hop culture, in love with the mafia. Rick Ross in love with the mafia. It's all through his music, his titles, his albums, all of that. John Gotti is looked at as a god to a lot of y'all. As a god. Okay? Sammy the Bull. In real life, snitch. Sammy the Bull came home, started up a whole ecstasy ring. Why you got all these people still standing next to him working? Want to know why? Because everybody know how many bodies was under his belt. Man still dangerous as shit. Nobody play with him. Man still living and breathing, doing interviews to this day, doing documentaries and movies and all this type of shit. And speaking of dangerous to this day, now, that's just my own opinion of something that Rick Ross is doing that is corny and very hypocritical. But speaking of powerful, speaking of power, speaking of being dangerous, in this video that 1090 Jake did, one thing that he broke down is the charges that Rick Ross had before he got on in rap and his music started catching on and he started to blow up versus after. So it's like after he blew up and after he was a big name, like he had like his first biggest charge, which was like an assault, you know what I'm saying, on somebody and, you know, gun possession or something like that. But prior to that, it was like just a weed charge or something like that. 1090 Jake is breaking down like his criminal history that's on record. That's on record, right? And the funny thing about that is it opens up the topic once again of how many rappers become more dangerous and become more gangster and street affiliated after they become successful. This is not new. We do have a couple rappers out there and we respect them because we know what they've been doing before rap. My personal GOAT, right? On the music side, Jay-Z. He has his own songs and his own tracks where he's rapping about shooting his own brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say that he's gangster for that, but we could talk about the street shit too. Reasonable Doubt, his first album. Jay-Z is well known. Even Dame Dash, who's like a rival to him right now, has countless times where he's talked about like Jay-Z was doing XYZ in the street. We came with this type of money from the street into rap. Jay-Z came into the game with something from the street already had money. This is documented from people that was around him, people that co-signed him, his old neighborhood, all of this type of shit. It's been said 50 Cent is another one, right? Before we knew what was going on with 50 Cent, His local neighborhood knew who he was. His own enemies, Bangum Smurf. That's like a rival to him now, right? They haven't fucked with each other since the mixtape days. They haven't fucked with each other. Bangum Smurf still will get on an interview though and keep it real and say, yo, if you had any work in that area moving, it was coming through 50. He had it moving a mile a minute round us, right? It was him knocking niggas out and all this type of shit. And of course, we all know, like, you obviously got something going on in the street. If you these niggas running up on you, shooting you 9 times, and this is going on with Preem and all this type of shit. This is before rap, right? So we have those artists that fit that bill. But then we also got artists like, let's say, a Soldier Boy. And I know a lot of people like to get at Soldier Boy. I'm not here to disrespect nobody. Y'all know me. But he's just a good example because we all got introduced to Soldier Boy as Crank That, doing the Superman dance and all that, right? Fast forward, he's a Blood. Lil Wayne, I could take it to people take it to rappers that everybody fucks with and respects. How many people said, Lil Wayne, like, you grew up in the industry. Baby and all them and Slim grabbed you as a little kid. When was you gangbanging? You know what I'm saying? Like when? And here's the thing too. If I use Lil Wayne, the streets still is of hip hop, okay? Because when Cash Money starts hanging around Mac 10, and Mac 10 comes in and possibly brings the Blood affiliation into Cash Money, allegedly, I don't know. Just seems that that's when a lot of red movement started to happen within Cash Money. Because the Hot Boy days, I didn't see none of that Blood shit, none of it until like Mac 10 came around, right? So I'm not trying to say that niggas can't become a real street gangster affiliation after they become successful. But it is the truth. It still makes us look into your past though, because if you're saying that before y'all met me, before my albums dropped, before my singles, before I did my first show, I was all of this. And then when somebody looks into your background and they see the opposite, that's where you have the problem. That's where you have the problem, right? And these people literally still become more dangerous as they become newfound gangsters after they've become famous. What's the root of that? Not just because gangsters come around you, not just because maybe you started getting extorted, or because other powerful people started getting next to you and saying like, yo, you need to work. People kind of accuse Jay Prince and them for doing that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, force you to kind of work with them and shit like that. I remember Trick. People were accusing him of trying to extort people, but the way he explained it was, you come to my city to make money, you got to tap in. It's a no-fly zone. You got to help some of these local niggas from Detroit get some money too. You want to come pull $500,000 out of the club, you know what I'm saying? Put some of the little young homies on the stage to open up your shows and all that. I understand the concept. I'm not trying to say right, wrong, whatever. People do what they do. You see what I'm saying? But sometimes you get those type of affiliations, whether Jay Prince's or the Tricks, or these people get next to you, and then you become more and more street affiliated. Or maybe you do become Blood or Crip after getting into the music industry. Or maybe somebody comes in like a Mac 10 and brings some type of affiliation around you. You just never know. It's all types of shit going on. But because of that aspect as well, and you complement that with the almighty dollar, these people actually do become more dangerous after they become more famous. Rick Ross, for example, he could have been the most loyal CO ever. He could have been the best CO ever. 1090 Jake put up paperwork of Rick Ross getting an award for outstanding attendance for 2 years as a CO, never missing a day. Let's say that's 100% legit. Could be true. Rick Ross still becomes a dangerous person now that he's successful. With money and success comes power. There's people around you now that'll do whatever because he's opportunity, because he's money. That's another video that 1090 Jake put up, right? Going at Finesse 2 times. I don't know whether it's true or not, but he said that he was in communication with Finesse 2 times, and Finesse 2 times told him, listen, my people's gonna rock with me, whether right or wrong. Now, if that's true, to me, that's how it goes. Money, power, opportunity, people going to stay close to you and still fuck people up for you. You're still going to be dangerous if you sit in the boss's chair. If you're still the opportunity, if you're still putting the asses in the seats. You know what I'm saying? If you're still selling the records. I could even tie that into Diddy right now. Diddy is still Diddy. He ain't been charged yet. Or his friends or whatever, you're not going to see them come. Jay-Z's going to be quiet. The Fat Joes of the world. These niggas do interviews right now. They're going to French Montana, all these people, Diddy's friends from the industry. They're going to tell these people, don't ask me about Diddy. And if somebody does blindside them and ask them about Diddy on camera, they're either going to be neutral or they're going to be supportive. They're not going to be negative. Why? Because Diddy's too big of a name still in the industry to dance on his grave too early. Power. Rick Ross is still a powerful person. He's still a dangerous person. It is what it is. Everybody wanted to label Gunna a snitch, right? And then he comes out and he has what? His biggest charting success after that. Fucking Tekashi 6ix9ine, the biggest hip hop snitch of all time, goes overseas and starts making his money. Gets out, does singles with Nicki Minaj and Kodak Black and all this shit. You see what I'm saying? So the street element, along with the power of being successful, along with the money, is always still going to be there, regardless of what your past is. Sorry, it's true. Sorry, it's true. And once you go through all of that, it makes you beg to ask the question: does videos like this from 1090 Jake affect Rick Ross? Before I answer that, let me answer: does it affect the battle? Because that's where all of this shit is coming from. I definitely think it affects the battle between Rick Ross and Drake. 100% it does. Even some of these alleged AI songs that are coming out affect the battle. That shit that came out from the AI guy the other day from Kendrick, that owl hunting or whatever, he's rehashing shit, reminding people in the middle of this beef. He got bars talking about Drake getting pissed on and shit by Diddy. I know people are gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing that rumor. Remember hearing that Diddy put hands on Drake and all that type of shit. Or let's say the High Whitney wasn't really Drake. It was AI. But now people still gonna say, hey, Kendrick, man, did your wife cheat on you with the security guard? It's no different than 1090 Jake now being in the mix of this stuff. From the battle standpoint, the rap standpoint, the hip hop standpoint, yes, it hurts. Because they push the narratives of who's gonna win, you know, the rapping war, the artistry side of things, the trolling side of things. But does videos like this hurt Rick Ross? The answer is no. Sorry, it's true. First of all, the whole CO thing, if 50 couldn't do it, 1090 Jake's not going to be able to do it. And 50 was doing it when Rick Ross was 20 times weaker and 20 times smaller of an artist and way less successful. He's a more powerful, more dangerous, more successful, more money behind him, more people behind him artist than he was back then. And that was 50 when he was closer to his peak, as far as on the rap side of things. So will this affect Rick Ross's career? No. That's why I even put the Dreas hat on, right? Doesn't Rick Ross have a retain that Dreas? If he could put the asses in the seats, that's all these people around you will care about. Album still selling, singles still moving, streams are still doing well. These motherfuckers don't give a fuck if you were a CEO in the past, and neither do the fans, i.e. a fucking Tekashi or a Gunna or whoever. Don't matter. Hurts the battle, hurts him with the battle with Drake. As far as Rick Ross's career, until his numbers come down, until his success comes down, his money comes down, he stops making good music that people want to listen to. He stops being able to put asses in the seats at places that he has residencies to and whatnot. Until that happens, 50 couldn't do it, and neither will 1090 Jake. Once again, I'm not sticking up for neither one of them. I'm just keeping it real.